everybody. Welcome to another episode of Coming Up Milhouse. We are here to talk about Season 3, Episode 5. The title is Like Father, Like Clown. Go ahead and give us a synopsis.
Alright, so this one features Krusty, and he is supposed to go see Bart for a dinner, like, some kind of a meet and greet to thank Bart, because Bart had helped him in another episode, but Krusty's very lazy, and he cancels on Bart, and Bart doesn't take too kindly to this, so he admonishes Krusty in a very verbal way, and Krusty feels bad about this, so he ends up coming to the party and meeting and greeting the family. But during their happy time, it becomes clear that Krusty is actually sad because he is estranged from his father, and because of that, Krusty is a very sad fellow. But the Simpsons decide that they are going to step in and do some reconciliation between Krusty and his father, who is voiced by Jackie Mason, which adds a little flavor to the episode, I think. And so that's the basic idea behind the episode. Pretty funny.
This is another episode that doesn't have a subplot to it.
No subplot, you are correct. It's all about the Krusty story.
Yep.
Alright, so as we always do, we go into lines. You want to give me a line that you like?
Aw, we could have seen a monkey. That was Homer.
Yeah, that was Homer.
During the dinner scene, Krusty's there, and Krusty pulls out
Mr. Teeny.
Mr. Teeny.
Yeah.
I lost his name for a second.
Yeah.
And out of a bag, and Mr. Teeny roller skates out the door. So technically Homer did get to see a monkey, but we could have seen a monkey.
He wanted the monkey to stick around, apparently. Yep. Yeah, that's funny. So mine comes a little bit later in the story when Krusty is telling the backstory on how he got estranged from his father. He didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps and be a rabbi. He wanted to become a clown, but his father didn't like that. And the story's so sad that Homer turns to Bart and he says, "You don't have to follow in my footsteps." And Bart says, "Don't worry, I don't even like to go to the bathroom after you."
That's a good one.
So that was my first line.
Good. My second one comes from Krusty's father. Kind of, during that same scene.
Mm-hmm.
Life is not fun. Seltzer's for drinking, not spraying. Pie is for enjoying, not throwing.
That whole backstory thing took up a good 5 minutes of the story. That was funny, but there were a lot of jokes and one-liners thrown into that sequence. That was good. Alright, so my second line is actually a line from Lisa, and it's because Krusty, I guess, admires their family unit because they're all together, and Lisa is like dumbfounded by the thought, and she says, "A man who envies our family is a man who needs help."
That was a contender for me too.
Was it? Yeah.
Yep.
That is a very Lisa quote, but also just a riff on the Simpsons family itself, because the idea that they're not the most functional family either. So, all right. So scenes. You want to do your favorite scene?
So I wrote down the opener. The opening scene is Krusty doing his show, and he's throwing axes at Sideshow Mel, and Mel is on a wheel, and he's pinned up there, and there are axes all around him, and Krusty has his last axe, and he throws it, and it, instead of landing, it bonks Sideshow Mel on the head and knocks him out, and so he's just hanging like this on the wheel, and then that ends the show, and Krusty thanks everyone that was in the show, including Corporal Punishment, who's this giant guy who is dangling an unconscious Sideshow Mel, and then they start dancing to this music, and so Corporal Punishment is just kind of marionetting Sideshow Mel. So that was my favorite.
It was a really funny way to kick off the episode. That part just made me laugh. That was a very good choice. So my favorite scene, I'm going to go with Bart's letter telling Krusty off.
Good.
Because I didn't write it down verbatim because we were watching the episode, but it was great because Bart just is like, you know what, I ain't putting up with that. And he sits down and he just lets Krusty have it. And, he says, eat my shorts and get bent and all
bent.
that. And I like that because I just thought that was kind of cool, Bart. He's like, you know what? I saved you, but I'm done with you. And that's what prompted Krusty to end up coming back.
Right.
So that kicked the rest of the episode into gear. And so I like that scene. That was good.
That's good.
Yep.
So Bart's using stationery that says "From the Brain of Bart," and it has little brains on it at the header. And then I like in that letter he writes something like, "This is Bart Simpson, badge number blah blah blah. I'm returning my badge. Get bent." So
yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't want it
done.
anymore.
He
I'm
was
done with
done.
it. Oh yeah, he was like, no more of this. And so that I think that was just pretty cool, Bart, to have the gumption to do that.
And then Krusty's secretary, Miss Penny Candy, reads that and then goes in and just tries to get Krusty to read it. And It's pretty good.
Yep, it kicks things off.
Pretty good.
So that's good. All right, so those were our favorite scenes. Do you want to do a winner or loser? Which one do you want to do first?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's go with losers.
All right, losers. So my loser goes back to what you were saying, and I picked Sideshow Mel because he got beamed on the head with that axe handle, and then he had to dangle there with corporal punishment.
Yep.
So I picked Sideshow Mel. He did not have a good episode.
No, he did not. I picked Mo.
Just for that 2-second clip.
2-second clip that they are watching the final Krusty episode where he and his dad make up, and Mo has something in his eye, and Barney hands him the most disgusting handkerchief. It's covered in green goo, and so I picked Mo.
And Mo's like, that is good.
That's my loser for that episode.
I like it. Who was your winner?
My winner is really obscure, and I'm going with the radio host who we see because he has a Bleeding Gums Smurfy poster that's signed behind his head.
I didn't even catch that.
That's my winner.
Good one.
What about
Very
your
good.
winner?
Mine is Miss Penny Candy.
Nice.
Because, like you said before, when she's the one that reads Bart's letter, so it goes back to that. I guess I really do like that part. And she decides she ain't going to take Krusty's crap.
Nope.
And she marches in there and she says, read this. And she's the reason why he gets, a fire lit under him to go to the Simpsons and fulfill his obligations.
Yep.
And earlier in the episode, she was following Krusty around and he was canceling everything left and right. And you got the sense that he kind of pushes her around a little bit, but when it came to that, she was like, nope. So I thought, you know what? Good for you. Don't put up with that.
Good job,
and I went with that
Miss Penny Candy.
Miss Penny Candy. Probably the only time we've ever seen her in 30 years of The Simpsons.
Yep.
But she was my winner today. So that was it. Season 3, Episode 5, Like Father, Like Clown. I liked it. What'd you think of it?
I liked it too.
It was pretty fun.
It had some pretty funny lines. There were a couple, some other lines that I wrote down that I thought were pretty fun too. So
yeah, all in all, good fun times. All right, so that is our episode for this week. We will be coming at you soon with the next episode on season 3.
Yep. We're gonna skip the next one because the next one is a Treehouse episode.
We are
going to save that for October.
We're going to get some Treehouse of Horrors going, and we're going to save that for that.
Yep. So the next episode will be episode 7, and you can tune into that next week.
All right.
And until then,
Jiminy Jillikers!